So it's early access on Arena, and what better way to showcase new standard with a busted combo straight out the gates. This set is truly amazing. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today I'm in early access on Arena. Shout out to Wizards for this one, and a big shout out for all of you supporting the channel. Please consider subscribing below if you haven't, as we venture through Edge of Eternities. Anyway, enough of all that and on to today's combo. It's a pretty simple principle, but so very hard to pull off. So I'm comboing Dawnsire Sunstar Dreadnought with a Screaming Nemesis. Once your spacecraft has 10 charge counters on it, attacking with any creature does 100 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Well, target your Nemesis to redirect 100 damage to your opponent's face. Easy, yeah? Well, no. These are expensive cards and you gotta hang in there through a very aggro meta. What's a spacecraft? I know you're asking. Well, it's an artifact that does something when souped up with charge counters. You do this by tapping creatures, whose power is then added to the artifact's counter count. Now we have two ways to get the spacecraft on 10 counters. The normal way is tapping your creatures throughout the game, or the way more fun, janky way is using Systems Override. You cast this, you target your own spacecraft, it puts 10 counters on it until end of turn, then you turn your Nemesis sideways for your instant win. I would definitely put this on the jank scale of around 6 or 7 out of 10. The rest of the deck is a semi-token control build that I'll explain during the games. I'm super excited to show you this combo, even if I got run over most of the time by some super aggro decks. I do have some highlights from the games though when things go a little bit more our way. So strap yourself in and let's see all this in action. Alright, on the draw here, and yeah, this is a pretty clunky hand, but we do have our Dawnsire and our Systems Override, so let's hope this works. Opponent with a Caveron Harrier. If I remember, I'll put these up on the screen, but this is a artifact that you can create robots by paying 2 when it attacks. So our hand is not great, but we'll see how this goes. There's a lot of artifact aggro today in the early access, so I'm expecting to be run over a little bit here, but we've got a combo in our hand and we are playing a semi-control build, so a little bit of life gain and Dragoon's Lance for our opponent. We just draw planes. I mean, land's not bad. We are going to need a bit of land here, and looks like we're going to rely on Beza to get us through this. So we're already down to 12, and that is Lightstall Inquisitor. So this 1-drop, 2/1 with Vigilance. When it enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. However, a spell would cost 1 more and a land would enter tapped. Not bad for a 1-drop, eh? See what the opponent has exiled, and it is a Ragost Deft Gastronaut. I'll definitely put that one on the screen. Yeah, these are mouthfuls. And we are already down to 8, but we are going for our Beza now to gain us some life. Throw some creatures onto the battlefield. So yeah, back up to 12. So we're starting to make some progress here. We can play our Dawnsire next turn. And they can only attack in the air, so we may have swerved a little bit of damage here. And it looks like they are charging up their land. And there's a Helix, which is nice, but we have to drop this Dawnsire at some point, and we can do it now. So I've got Collector's Cage in the deck, just as so if we had the cage out right now, you can see that it would work. It's just trying to find a way to cheat out the Dreadnought. Yeah, get a chance to tap our Beza there, put 4 counters on our spaceship. We might have to do this the old-fashioned way here. Could have also tapped our fish, I guess, but we don't have a Nemesis in our hand. Let's block the 3/3. Down to 8. Just looking for that Nemesis. Maybe we can draw into it with our Regent, and opponent does play their Gastronaut. Another land is not particularly great. So yeah, they can start sacking artifacts at some point. I'm really not sure what they're trying to do. Let's go for our draw spell here. Coil and Catch. Oh, and there's our Nemesis. There is our Nemesis. So we do have our Override in our hand, so we should be presenting lethal next turn. Let's Helix away one of their creatures, I think. So this is going to gain us 3 life. Just checking all the cards here. I guess we just hit the 3/3. Alright, we should be okay next turn unless they have a removal spell. No point attacking. No point charging up our Dreadnought here. So this should be the combo. See what they do. I just want them to tap out. Is that a chainsaw? So originally this build was just a Boros build, but I really needed that card draw. As opponent plays a chainsaw, another extruder, and we should be good here. They get in there for 4 damage. Let's just block the 2/2 because we can. And here we go. So we drop our Override here onto our Dreadnought. It's going to add 10 counters, so it's up to 14. Hit them with a Nemesis, or attack with a Nemesis. Target our own creature with 100 damage, redirect it to our opponent's face, and that is lethal. Whew. Okay, totally forgot to hit record, but we got a pretty nice hand with a few cheap spells. I'll consult the star charts on top. That's one of my favourite cards. Okay, so for a blue and a generic, with kicker blue and a generic, you get to look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Put one of those cards into your hand. If the spell was kicked, you put 2 of those cards into your hand instead, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card is awesome. And looks like we're up against another Boros artifact deck. Rust Harvester. Okay. Let's just play this out. I mean, we could Helix it. I was thinking about Storm Brooding it, doing some damage, but who knows what to do. I'm going to just play the Consult here without... Melded Moxite. When this enters, you may discard a card and draw 2. Alright, we'll let them do this yet. Discarding a Nesting Bot. Okay, we'll Consult here. Obviously, no kicker. Okay, there's a Dawnsire or one of our Collector's Cage. Let's take our Dawnsire. So Collector's Cage, kind of a plan B, a way to get this Dawnsire out without having to necessarily play 5 mana. Let's just pass our turn. We're not under too much pressure right now. Dragons are also in the deck to help pump up our Dawnsire if we aren't going to combo out. Opponent with a Carrot Cake. Okay, artifacts beat down, it looks like, and little rabbits. Artifacts and tokens. You could put fire magic in this deck. That was one I was thinking about doing. And let's Helix this Rust Harvester while we can. Okay, there's the archive. So the meta in these early access events is always slightly strange. People are encouraged to use newer cards. But it does seem very aggressive, I must admit. A lot of Boros decks. This deck was a Boros deck. In fact, I tried Boros, Izzet, and Mono Red before settling on the Jeskai version here. Can drop Beza, gain some life, make some tokens. And yeah, we're just holding out this game. So this is one of those times where the Collector's Cage would work quite nicely. We can pump up one of our fish. And Dusk Rose Reliquary. Very common card today. It's going to hit our Beza, I guess. I'm telling you, artifact removal is pretty key in this meta that I've noticed today. 2 damage takes us back down to 20. So we've survived the first few turns. Another Harvester. Tap land, okay. And there's a Foundry, sure. Well, I'm worried that they might have like an Abrade or something. Let's drop our Elspeth. Let's try and coax out any removal spells. I'm just trying to prolong this, looking for our Nemesis. Create some tokens here. I'm sure our Elspeth isn't going to survive this. Well, it might do. Okay, so they're hovering over their Harvesters. So the Rust Harvesters are a pretty nice card. They can exile artifacts from the graveyard, put a counter on it, and then do damage equal to its power to to any target or to creature or planeswalker. Sheltered by our opponent. Okay, so they did have a like pseudo removal spell. Oh, it's any target. It's not just planeswalkers and creatures. Okay. All right. Well, the board is, well, the board state's pretty like a stalemate at the moment. You're still on 19 life. There's a Helix. Okay. Rust Harvester is got lifelink. As long as they don't go over 100 life, it doesn't really matter. Not sure really what to do here. Let's go for the talent. Make a copy of our fish. Draw a card. And then we can see how this goes. Maybe I should have tapped that better to leave the Helix open. But let's take out the Harvester. So forgive my slow plays, or if there's any misplays. These are brand new cards. It's quite difficult to know what is going on, what is a threat, for example. I've got my own plan, and that's all I'm worried about, to be honest, today. We are starting to take damage now, onto 13. It's another dragon. I don't really want to play this Dawnsire until I have a chance to drop a Nemesis. But yeah, kind of stabilised a little bit more, especially with the Helixes. Down to 14. And consult the star chart. Alright, well, we are going to definitely kick this. And what have we found here? Well, there's our Nemesis. So we get to put 2 cards in our hand. Let's just go for our cage. We can play the cage here. Not sure what we want to look for underneath it. Maybe our override, or another Dawnsire. That's the question. Let's go for the override here. Doubt we're going to be using the Collector's Cage, to be honest. Melded Moxite for our opponent. Discard, draw 2. So the Dawnsire, we're definitely going to shut down next turn. Yeah, we haven't got any option here. Got to get this down onto the battlefield. And sure, we'll just go from here now. We'll keep our Stormbrood back. It might be a dragon that we need to actually use to manually, or the old-fashioned way, put some counters on this Dreadnought. Alright, down to 7. Another land. I want to play the dragon, there we go. Okay, so we're on 12 now. The dragon does gain us some life. We can make it a 6-power creature, and we are on 12 life, so we should have lethal next turn by tapping this Stormbrood. Dreadnought is now on 6. Next turn we'll put another 6 onto it, and then we'll attack with a Nemesis. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell for the Screaming Nemesis. And yeah, should have lethal here, unless they've got a removal spell. Tap our Stormbrood, it has 12 counters in it, get the Nemesis down. So I think that's why this artifact is in the deck, the Spacecraft. We're trying to do it cheekily. If you get up to 20 counters, you are attacking actually with a flying 20/20, so that's pretty nice. Opponent GG's us, and they go down to -72. Alright, on the draw here. Hand seems... I guess we have a 2-drop. Opponent with Infestation Sage. Alright, pretty confident in we're playing against the black-white sack deck with lots of little creatures. Raise the Past. There's the Blood Witch. Okay, this deck has been a bit difficult to defeat today. It's been quite popular as well. Let's play this Intimidator. Please, opponent, grab some... Well, let us have some lander tokens here. So, Terrapact Intimidator is a 2/1 for 2 mana. When this creature enters, target opponent may have you create 2 lander tokens, and if they don't, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. So a lander token is an artifact with pay 2, tap it, sacrifice the token, search your library for a basic, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So I'm kind of hoping that people are going to give us the land. I don't know if this is going to work. I've seen other people play it today, so I'm giving it a go today. What are they doing? Alright, well, they make our creature a 4/3. Voice of Victory, okay. And they're hovering over my Intimidator. Okay, they're clearly going to sack their Sage here with, in this case, Embrace Oblivion. Okay. So this is destroy target creature or spacecraft. So we've got to be aware of that if we drop our Dreadnought. Okay, you could play a board wipe in this deck. Maybe something like Fire Magic. It would work against this deck quite nicely. But like I said, they do play Raise the Past. In fact, they've just exiled that. And here comes Sathera. I'm going to just put that one on the screen. Okay, it's a tricky little card to play with. So when a creature dies, it's actually going to exile our creature. I mean, it's very strong, isn't it? It's a very strong card. So yeah, this black-white sack deck has been very strong today. Let's drop Beza, gain us some life, make us some fish. Yeah, we're just hanging in there. I mean, land into Dawnsire, land, and then the Nemesis is going to be lethal. I'm just going to block where I can. I mean, we're going to lose our Beza here, but I'm just trying to hang in there as much as possible. Kind of forgot they had the Raise the Past there in exile. It's only just a Voice of Victory and an Infestation Sage, so it's not the end of the world. Sathera, though, does nab our Beza. Wow, this black-white deck is very strong. How are we even going to win this? We can't, can we? Cosmogrand Zenith for our opponent. This just shows how difficult it is for our deck to work against anyone, to be honest. In the fast-paced meta, our little janky combo deck does what it can, and we just take the victories when we can, but unfortunately not this time. Alright, on the draw, and I'm okay with this hand as we have a turn 1 play. We have 2 regents, so maybe we can draw into some gas. Opponent did mulligan there, so that's a good sign for us. It's 4 AM where I am right now. I've been playing this all evening. The combo has done okay, although a lot of opponents have scooped to it. So fingers crossed I actually get one on video here. Where's my archive? There it is. Play the Surveil land and we will get rid of that regent. We already have 2 of them. We did draw a Helix, which is pretty cool. Opponent down to 18 as they shock in their breeding pool. And we'll drop our Inquisitor here. There's no point Helix in this Scavenger just yet. We are in go slow mode. So this is going to exile a card from their hand that they can play later for 1 extra mana, or if it's a land it will come in tapped. And it is a Sheltered, okay. So a pretty slow start for them, but that's pretty good for us. Virtue of Knowledge. Okay, so they're going to copy their Fable Passage. I like that. Kudos to our opponent for that particular play. That's the kind of thing I like to see. Alright, so they're up to 4 mana already. They are ramping. Consult the Star Charts. Okay, one of my favourite cards. So we could Helix the Scavenger here. We could even Pain for All if we want to. But I really probably... Well, I'm definitely going to use this Consult. We just need lands. Opponent is having no problem drawing lands. Virtue, okay, so now they're going to be having extra triggers. So that's what their deck looks like it's doing. Scavenger here is going to get 2 counters put on it. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that with a Helix. Although we didn't consult then, I guess we can consult now. And another Inquisitor or land. Well, I definitely want a land, so let's find that one. and poke them down to 16. So I added blue to this deck because I really wanted some card draw. My mono red version earlier and my Boros version just didn't have enough card draw. It couldn't get the right cards as quick as possible. I've had much more luck with this Jeskai build. Even though Jeskai is actually one of my least played colour combinations. Okay, they've got 2 to the top. That's scary. And Melt Strider's Resolve. Okay. So this is going to fight our creature. And it's actually going to fight another creature if they wanted to. Due to the virtue. Land. Okay, I'm always up for land. Let's Regent first in case we find a Surveil land. We don't. But we find our Dawnsire. Alright, let's get rid of this talent. So we have... No, let's get rid of Painful. We have 2 of our combo pieces here. The Dreadnought and the Nemesis. I'm worried though that they might have a way of bouncing creatures or... We'll see how this goes. But yeah, I mean, the combo looks... It's 2/3 of the way there in our hand. We could even use our River Regent and maybe some tokens to soup up our Dawnsire instead. They play a Starfield Vocalist, okay. Even more triggers. Right, let's try and get this sheltered out of their hands if they want to spend this turn doing this. I so badly want to combo with this. I haven't actually done it yet on video, and 2/3 of the way there in my hand. Just keep controlling the board and I should be okay. I'm kind of excited here. So they did indeed play sheltered. They are going to take my Planeswalker and the 2/1/1s, I guess, but we might be able to kill that Prince later and get our Planeswalker back. So I'm not too concerned right now. Down to 14. Good old Charming Prince. Alright, another land. And let's play a Dreadnought whilst we have the chance. Alright, I bet you they did not expect to see that card. Scavenger for our opponent. I guess we just play the Regent here. Pop some of their creatures back to their hand. I really want a combo, but I'm not going to tap the Regent now. I don't really want to be tapped in the face of the opponent's board. Who knows what can happen. I probably would get away with it, but they may be able to put enough damage on this Prince and Scavenger to actually kill me. So we'll see how this goes. But like I said, I could have tapped the Regent to put 6 counters on the Dreadnought. That would have mean next turn I can tap it again, tap with the Nemesis. And I still can over the next couple of turns. Vocalist for our opponent. And it's another fight spell, okay. So they are going to kill my Regent here. They're going to kill their own Prince though, aren't they? And we're going to get our Planeswalker back. I don't know if that was the right thing for the opponent to do. And they get in there with their Scavenger. Alright, we're down to 7, so we draw another land. Lovely. Surveil, and there's an Inquisitor on the top. Okay. There's not much we can do here. Let's make some 1/1s. Let's draw a card with our talents. So I've gone for a sort of token build. You don't have to play tokens. I just wanted some creatures down. I also wanted just to sneakily try out Collector's Cage as a way of cheating out this Dawnsire. I feel 5 mana is quite difficult to do. I could also tap some creatures now onto our Dreadnought, but I really want to use the Nemesis. I really want to try and win with a combo here. As long as we're not dying, I'm going to try and wait till we get our Overload. What do they have in their hand though? They're hovering over my Planeswalker. Another Vocalist, okay. Oh, it's a land, sure. Okay, and there's an Archive. Hey, there's our Override. It's on top of our deck. Alright, Okay, we should be okay to win this game next turn. In fact, we can win the game this turn. I think our tokens are all pumped up now. I don't want to win the game this turn. I want to wait till next turn. So we could have just tapped everything. Pumped up our Dawnsire, tapped the Nemesis. But forgive me, I want to do my combo here. I kind of like the opponent's deck here. I actually played against a similar version earlier with Frogs and Doppelgang. And my days, everything I had was stunned. I had 7 or 8 stun counters on all my dragons. It was a fun one to watch. So they do have a fight spell here with the Vocalist. Gonna take out some of my creatures. Okay, a lot of triggers for them. But we have lethal next turn. I mean, like I said, we had lethal this turn, but forgive me, I want to do my thing. They're certainly thinking about something. They do have a Virtue in their hands. Yeah, Vantra's Visions to copy their fight spell again. Actually copy the Scavenger so that their Vocalist survives. My last video used the Visions. Check it out if you want to. It was just a small video showing how you can win on turn 3, or how you can mill your opponent out on turn 3 if you really want to. We draw our override here though, and I guess it doesn't matter what order we do it in. So we'll play a Nemesis, override our spacecraft, and finally at 4 AM in the morning I managed to get a victory. Yeah, just attacks. There we go. Managed to get a victory here. Whew. 100 damage to our opponent's face, and they're going to go down to minus 68. And yes, we did it. Just want to thank you for watching. Please give the video a like and subscribe below. Bye.